Many years ago, the Indigenous people of this land and those that came from across the world united to tame an unforgiving frontier, ensuring prosperity for countless future generations.
In a new Twitter video promoting Alberta energy, Premier Danielle Smith wants us to remember our history. But these comments have landed her in hot water once again. Political scientists like Dr. Nelson Wiseman say these comments about Indigenous people and Western settlers are very misleading.
If I were an Indigenous person, I would be insulted. It's full of historical distortion and revisionism. For example, united to tame the land. That's nonsense. The Indigenous people are not into taming the land. That's a Western Eurocentric conception. They believed in living in harmony.
Smith goes on to talk about developing democratic institutions together.
It was their duty to support one another as neighbors and to build this country together, developing democratic institutions that would yield good and stable governance. I think it's important to remind ourselves where we came from, because it might help shape where we're going.
That's totally wild, because Indigenous peoples were denied a role in democratic institutions. They weren't allowed to vote. They were starved in the 19th century. Disease spread among them. This isn't building democratic institutions. They had no rights of citizenship.
MRU political scientist Laurie Williams says this is an attempt by Smith to make up for her past comments, including the ones about unvaccinated as the most discriminated, then her comparison to Ottawa's treatment of Alberta to that of Indigenous in Canada, and also her claims of having Indigenous heritage.
If it's meant to offset the impact of insensitivity or inappropriate equivalences drawn in the past, I don't think it does that. And in fact, it might actually convey that she doesn't really understand the difference in the experiences of those who settled Canada and those who were living off the land before that settlement happened.
In Calgary, Henna Saeed, City News.